Hey superstars, it's Alex and we are going on an adventure. When I'm talking to groups about how to communicate with the public about their project, their business, their organization, we take a look at the vast array of options available to them and start to make choices about what they're going to do and crucially, what they're not going to do. Because you want to be strategic, make the most of your limited time, money, and resources, and get maximum return on your communication efforts. There's no one and done way to do this, and honestly, if anyone tells you that there is, they're lying. The choices you make depend on a lot of factors, including how invested your audience already is emotionally and or materially in you. The more invested they are, the more willing they'll be to go down that rabbit hole with you, and the more you can ask of them without scaring them off. In his book, Influence, Science and Practice, psychology professor Robert Cialdini talks about 7 principles of persuasion. One of them is commitment and consistency. People want to stand by their commitments and they want to be seen as consistent in their behavior over time. That means, for example, that if you persuade someone to make a small commitment once, they're more likely to make additional related commitments later on. So you need to get them to say yes to you once, yes to paying attention, yes to taking some small action, and then you can deepen that relationship over time, potentially scaling it up as you go. I like to imagine this journey as a mountain, the mountain of engagement. So imagine you're going for a walk one day and you're walking, you look up, and there's a beautiful mountain in front of you. I know mountains don't just sprout up from flat ground. It's a metaphor, so just go with it. Now you see this mountain. You might say, well, nice mountain. This is what I call the discovery phase of the communication journey. Your audience didn't know you existed, and now they do. Maybe they saw your ad, or they met you at an event, or they heard you speaking on the radio. Some people might just shrug and keep walking. Mountains aren't everybody's jam, and that's okay. But some will be interested enough that they'll start looking around. They'll check out the interpretive signs at the base of the mountain, see what it's all about. This is the exploration stage of the communications journey. Your audience is looking at what you have to say, what you have to offer, seeing if there's anything of value to them. They're maybe looking at your website, checking out your social media. It's still a fairly passive process at this stage, and you might not really see many signs that they're there aside from, for example, your website analytics, newsletter signups, any other data that you're collecting to see who's looking and listening. You're not getting a financial return at this stage, but it is a crucial step. If someone likes what they see, they might find a footpath and start heading up the mountain. And they'll keep going as long as the views are nice and there are no real hazards getting in their way. This is the interacting stage, where people are putting effort into actively engaging with you, but they're not really giving you anything back just yet. Maybe they're setting up a meeting, asking for a quote, or coming to your free event. At this stage, you are acting as their guide, trying to make the journey as interesting, as pleasant, and as easy as possible so that they keep going. You're showing them how you can make their life better and removing any barriers that stop them from engaging fully. You're trying to create a positive experience for them and get them excited about what's waiting so that they don't get bored and start heading back down the mountain. If you do that job well, a certain portion of people will keep climbing. Even as the terrain becomes steeper, they'll stick with it because they believe in the rewards that are waiting for them when they get to the top. Have you ever climbed a mountain where there's a restaurant up near the top? You've just done a bunch of effort, you're hungry, you're thirsty, you're ready to shell out for a fantastic meal with a beautiful view. Such a good business idea. So smart. This is the supporting stage of your audience's journey. This is where they start investing their time, their money, their reputations in you. They buy your products, they recommend you to their friends. Again, your job is to make their experience here as good as possible, because if you do, they will reward you by spending more time here. Finally, a small number of people will make it all the way up to the summit. It's cold up there, the trek can be tough, so most people are just gonna stick around at that supporting stage with their margaritas, and that's okay too. But those hardy souls who believe in you enough will ascend all the way up to the leadership stage. They will tell everyone they know about you. They'll nominate you for awards. They'll angel invest. And they do it because of all the hard work that you've put in at every other stage of their journey, not knowing whether you were ever going to get them to this leadership level or not. Now, at any given time, you will probably have members of your audience at all different stages. Some who are discovering you for the first time, some who have been ride or die with you from day one, and a whole bunch of people in between. That means you need to take a multifaceted approach to your outreach and communications. You need to have different types of messaging for people at different stages of that, and you need to roll out those messages in the right places at the right times. You want quick, benefits-focused messaging and easy calls to action for the people down near the bottom of the mountain, and more detailed information, more ambitious calls to action for those who are closer to the top and already willing to go the distance for you. What this looks like in practice, again, it depends. It's all about creating your one-of-a-kind strategy to figure out who you need to reach in order to meet your goals, and make sure you're supporting that audience at every step of their journey. If you want some help figuring out what that looks like for you, you can find my contact information down below, and I would love to chat with you. So happy trails, superstar, and have a fabulous day.